Hi there, everyone. It's Christophe Choo with Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Real Estate in Beverly Hills. In the midst of this coronavirus pandemic, my God, it's been 3, 4 weeks and we've all been locked down in our homes, shelter in place. It's been challenging for everyone around the world. But I wanted to bring on a great friend, past client, and one of my go-to people in the world of landscape architecture here in Los Angeles, Julia Shuart. And she's an amazing woman. I love her, and I wanted her to share from a different perspective from me. She's a working mom with a landscape business, an amazing landscape business. I give her all of my clients because she's so amazing at what she does. But she's a working mom with 2 young kids and a husband running a business during these times that's challenging for all of us to readapt ourselves to be able to help our clients. And right now we're doing a major landscape redesign project in Bel Air for a good client of mine. It's a big project. It's close to $1 million on the re-landscaping plan. And Julia's my go-to girl, and she's amazing. And I'm so admirous of her because through all this stuff, the last 3, 4 weeks, we're still doing business every day, talking and handling things while her kids are around, her husband's around, and taking care of things under the rules and regulations of our city, county, and area. So I want to introduce Julia. Julia, it's so glad to have you on this call.
Thanks for having me.
Look, we have no kids other than dogs, but you have 2 young, beautiful children, and you have your parents nearby, and you're running a very successful landscape design business, and you have a husband who's a very successful businessman as well. So I just wanted to share. So tell us just briefly about who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about you from your perspective.
Well, my name is Julia Shuart, and I'm born and raised in Los Angeles here. And I have a degree in landscape architecture, a master's of landscape architecture, and I'm a licensed landscape architect here in the state of California. And I have about 10 years of experience in this field. And it's a very interesting field. It's not what everybody thinks. We're not out in the garden. We're not just planting. We're actually designing large infrastructural projects. So
yeah,
more in the realm of site design. So when Christophe just spoke about that project in Bel Air, we are completely transforming a 22,000 square foot property, hardscape, pool, cabana, structures, gates, walls, planting, irrigation, lighting, and things like that. So I love I used to study fine art when I went to UCLA for undergraduate, and I've been practicing art my whole life. And landscape architecture was kind of the combination of my technical side and my artistic side. And it came together 15 years ago when a friend of mine told me about the Harvard Graduate School of Design Career Discovery program that I did over the summer. And that program really showed me how to combine all, like I said, all the technical aspects of art and architecture and site design. And it really seemed like a perfect fit for me. So I applied to school and I went there to Harvard, and it was a 3-year program, and it was the best experience of my life. I learned so much. I met so many wonderful international people who all then dispersed, a lot of them dispersed back to where they came from and have been changing the world all around the globe. So it's great to keep in touch. I'm involved with the school. And then when I came back to Los Angeles, I worked for a big firm called AECOM, and I met wonderful people, including my business partner, Josh Segal. Very talented, very smart and funny, also family person. So we discovered that we would be great in business together because both of us value our families more than anything in the world. So as much as we love our jobs and we have great careers and we appreciate design and we want to change, the world around us, we still value family first and foremost. And that has come into play during this tragic, kind of catastrophic time for our entire world. So it's interesting that the entire globe is going through the same thing right now. So I feel privileged to live in Los Angeles and to have space and light and a home and food. And as much as children are a lot of work, it's also very joyful to be around them all the time. And so juggling work at home and juggling their needs has been, a struggle for sure. But I feel like about a week ago, I turned a new leaf and just started to think about how all of our mental health and physical health is the most important thing to think about right now. So projects can wait and we can get them done. And in the meantime, we really have to focus on staying mentally and physically healthy. So, you know, Josh and I are juggling everything. We have employees who are working from home, some who have kids and some who don't. And we're just doing our absolute best to keep the quality of our work up. But we're kind of just doing the bare minimum right now because that's all we can really, you know, we can still keep the quality up, but we can't spend 8 or 10 hours a day working right now. And that's just the reality that everyone's going through. But I also feel very lucky that I can work from home. I think that this business, I can do everything from my laptop. I can still design, I can coordinate, I can call people, I can work on the computer, and I can go out to site visits, which I've done some of as well. And so I do feel like it's kind of a lucky business to be in right now compared to others.
It's true. And I totally forgot that you were a Harvard graduate. Forgive me for not mentioning that because it's a major big deal. And one of the reasons I like Julia, first of all, Julia is a German descent. And in my friendships with many of my German friends, they're so precise and detailed. And Julia is really that way. She's precise and detailed. And even though she's very shy about things, but she's, you know, running a business, her family, her kids, her husband. But early in the morning at 7 o'clock, 6:30, I get emails from her. And then we do conference calls. And we have conference calls with the clients. And we have emails, like sometimes 20, 30 emails a day. So even though she says she's working, you know, on shorter thing, I don't see that because she's still getting this stuff done. Look, it's challenging for everyone right now to deal with that. But you're doing it so well, Julia. And secondly, many people, when they want to do landscape redesign, they call their gardener or their guy who cuts the grass and trims the trees and say, oh, I want new plants. This is a different thing. I mean, this particular project we're working on in Bel Air is you know, it started off with this, and it's morphed into many things, including new front walls, new front, you know, driveway gates and pedestrian gates and new front pavement.
The engineering.
Oh yeah. All new hardscape in the backyard, all new lighting. We're getting rid of the pool. We're getting rid of the pond. We're moving everything. We're taking out walls. We're building a cabana. We're building an outdoor kitchen. This is major, and your landscape gardener cannot do that. That's why you hire a professional landscape designer. And even with me and dealing, I thought, oh, it's simple to put in a new pool, put in a new cabana. It's a lot of work. And with cities, and I don't know how your city is, but cities and planning and permits, and it's challenging. So no matter what Julia says, she's still on top of it. She's doing it. But Julia, how do you manage? I mean, you get up every day. Are you like keeping your kids on a regular schedule, kind of like it was in school? Like, how are you? Like, give us
your. I do have to say there are pros and cons to the age of my children. They are almost 4 and 6.
Right.
So one of them is still in preschool and one is in kindergarten. So I do feel like it's probably a little bit easier and a little bit less pressure than maybe other grades or having very, very small babies. So the work that we do with our 6-year-old takes a couple hours a day, and my husband is actually very, very helpful, and he's a very good teacher. Come to find out, he's a very good teacher.
That's good to know.
I'm not surprised at all. He thrives on structure, and so do children. So it's actually perfect that he runs a tight ship over here. So we do have a schedule. It's not always exact, and you know, we take turns taking care of them and doing everything for them. And while he's on a conference call, I can't, in the beginning, I tried to work at the same time and have them doing other things. Right. And then I realized that I was getting frustrated by them asking me for things every 5 minutes and I wouldn't get work done. And then I felt like I was even more frustrated and my mood was bad, and that was reflecting poorly on them and they were getting upset. So now I've come to the point where if I'm with them, I'm focused on them. And I started painting again, and we've been doing watercolors, and we're baking and we're cooking. And then when they go to bed, I can do work. When they're doing, you know, now we let them watch a couple of shows during the day, or they do their own, they have Zoom meetings with their own classes and things like that. So that's when I can schedule in time to get work done. Yeah. And frankly, we're not going anywhere. We're not wasting time commuting. We're not rushing out the door, dropping them off, picking them up, spending time on that. So in a way, there's wasted time in our current, you know, previous life. And now we just aren't going anywhere. So we're home all day. So actually you can get more done than you think by just sort of managing the time, but also just focusing on the time that you do have and then completely forgetting about work on the times that you know you can't. You have to focus on them and their mental health and make sure everybody's happy and fed, and then take turns with your spouse, which luckily my husband also has been very helpful and has flexibility in his timing as well. So I think that makes a difference.
Well, it's nice. And me as a consumer, because I'm technically a client, because my client is the actual client, but I'm the kind of intermediary between him and his wife and you. But I have not noticed any differential in our day-to-day working now versus before. Okay, there's sometimes where you like this call today, we had to move the time around because of the kids and all that. But other than that, I wake up in the morning, I get emails all throughout the morning, 5-10 emails. And then the afternoon, more emails. So you're always working. But I'm wondering,
Right.
I mean, you're taking care of your husband, taking care of the kids. Is there mommy time? Are you like, do you even have any time for yourself to just like cry
Yeah.
if you want to and like pull your hair out and just like, oh God, I got through another day? I mean, what are you doing for yourself as a
I definitely take about an hour and a half power walk around my neighborhood. I live near UCLA. I live in the hills, or the flatlands of the, right next to UCLA. They're hilly enough that it's a good exercise for me.
yeah.
So I take our dog and for a very, very, very long walk.
That's your mommy time?
And that's my mommy time. And sometimes I make phone calls and talk to girlfriends across the world or across the city. And that is my time. And I do some home workouts. And that's usually when I watch a half an hour of the news, because I'm trying not to watch the news very often,
Smart
maybe half an hour,
decision.
45 minutes a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And I cook a lot, which I've always done. I cook almost every day. And so that's also me time, because then we usually, for the most part, lately my daughter wants to cook with me, but
I was gonna say, are Rick and the kids helping you cook now, or like peeling vegetables,
sometimes, yeah, but my daughter really wants to cook with me now, but she's not even 4, so that's, I'm not giving her a knife or a peeler at this point, but she likes to help, so that's nice. Or we
Also,
walk together as
yeah.
well.
And also you have your parents who live nearby and you're not taking care of them, but you're, obviously we all have older parents and we're concerned about our parents in these times and protecting them. So how are you balancing that as well in your world?
Well, so sadly, we feel that we've been told not to be around, not to put ourselves around our parents who are in their 70s.
Right.
And we do meet up. They live about 1.5 miles away. So we meet up and we have little socially distant meetings where we stand 10 feet apart, but at least we can watch the kids on their scooters, or we can, watch them run around together, have like a little picnic or something. So
Oh,
we've seen
nice.
them every other day or so, but
Good.
but
Good.
they miss, having the kids over and
Of course.
baking and being together. So it's hard, and Easter's coming up, and, we usually do things. There's been a lot of disappointment in all the canceling of
Right.
different
Right.
things in our lives, but trips that we were going to take, and Easter, and multiple birthdays in the family already that have come and gone, including
Right.
my own. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like I said, trying to just focus on the positive and think about how, healthcare workers and other people have obviously much bigger struggles. So, me being able to even just see my parents from 10 feet away is better than not.
I agree.
So.
And your kids are 4 and 6. So are they consciously kind of aware of what's going on, or they really don't understand what this is all? I'm guessing they probably don't, which is good.
Well, we don't want to talk about it too much,
Right.
because they definitely know what's going on. They call
Okay.
it coronavirus, and they were
They do.
talking about it for a month before this. And at
Okay.
school, they were all washing their hands so much that my son's hands were cracked and dry, and I had to get different soap because they were washing their hands already for 20 seconds, and they learned that in school. And so they're very conscious of it, and they're probably going to be, grow up to be a little bit of a germaphobes after this era. But we're trying not to talk about it too much. We just tell them, they haven't gone in public in 4 weeks. So the only place we've gone is UCLA. And I told them, then they don't have anything to really touch or anything there. But
Right.
they understand, but we are lucky that they're at the age where they love being with us. So
That is so nice.
they are happy, in a way. I didn't have a lot of time with my daughter before this because she was in school 8 to 5.
Right.
and she's not even 4 years old. And so it's a very long day for her to be apart. And so now we don't have that problem. Now we're together all the time.
It's given us all an opportunity to really look at what's important in life, which is love and family and kindness and helping each other. That's been one of the top things I've learned from this. But you personally, are there any issues that you're dealing with, just juggling all of these different things every day? Like, do you ever have moments where you kind of cry or kind of break down and just?
Yes, I think, well, especially the first 2 weeks, I really could not even believe that this was happening. And I was very scared. My husband and I were both straddling 100-degree temperatures. He had chest pain and a little bit of vertigo, and I had a headache for 6 days straight. It was raining. We had deadlines. I was not a happy camper at all for the first couple of weeks. I do think that getting a few of those deadlines out of the way and kind of just snapping out of the mental state that I was in and kind of really forcing myself to think about the positive and talking to a few friends whose husbands or significant others are nurses in New York City, riding the subway every day, and the subway's packed.
Right.
Hearing about someone's husband, a friend of a friend's husband who's a doctor, an ER doctor in New Orleans, and she's pregnant with their second baby and has a 1-year-old at home.
Wow.
And hearing about a friend who's about to have a baby on her own in New York City, and my friend who's her sister is going there, flying there to be with her, you know, father with lung cancer and scared. And, you know, so there are many, many stories out there that made me cry.
Right.
And when my son had a little Zoom chat with his kindergarten class, and one girl said, my mom has asthma, so if she gets this, it's going to be very bad. And I just started crying. I'm like listening to their little Zoom meeting, and I cried. So it is very, very scary and hard. But then lately I've just been saying we just have to keep focusing on staying home, doing as we're told, and keeping our positive spirit up, and just focusing on the positive, because it's you know, the mind is a powerful thing.
That's nice. So do you pray with your children every day, or what do you do to keep them positive?
We what was the question? What do we do?
Like, do you pray with your children every day, or do you do meditations with them? What do you do?
We do pray. My son actually goes to a Catholic school, and every morning we do the morning prayer, which is
that's so nice. Like
his,
all of you together as a family?
Actually, usually he and my husband sit down and do that together, because that's the beginning of their lessons that they do. And he's been handling the lessons, and I've been taking that time to do a little bit of work and also to be with my daughter. So they do the morning prayer. My father, who's a big lover of classical music, sends us every day, he sends us a YouTube classical music to watch. And so we have the Big Mac now in our dining room. So we put that on the computer and we listen to the classical concerts.
Oh, wonderful.
In the house. And then the kids have recess and they scoot up and down the driveway and they play in the backyard. We have cones set up in the backyard, and luckily we have a really big lawn. So they've been doing a lot of sports in the backyard. We've been doing a little bit of gardening, and with spring here, I have lots of roses. So we've been doing that. And our dog is the happiest of all, because she's never seen so much of us.
I know our dogs too. They're like, this is great. We love this situation. Your daddy's home all the time.
I know. She's very, very happy. So the kids have really bonded with her.
That's nice.
And I think in general, they're excited for some of the treats we give them. We've been baking a lot. Obviously, then we end up eating a lot more cookies than we used to.
You still look thin and lovely. How are you eating all this stuff? And look, I've been eating a lot of bread the last 3 weeks. I never eat bread at home, but I bought baguettes and bread before this all happened, and cream cheese and cheese.
I know, it's nice.
I've eaten all that stuff, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I know.
I just can't. I can't have that stuff in my house, because I will eat it all. I mean, the whole baguette was, they're gone like this.
I think because we're doing so much home cooking, which we do normally, I mean, I think that is one way to stay healthy, is just to know what's in your food. So I try to, even if we cook delicious bolognese and things like that, at least I use turkey, and I, use different ingredients that are
like us.
Here,
so as we wrap up this chat, and I so appreciate you coming on as a working mom and a wife and a business owner. So do you have maybe 2 or 3 little bits of advice for any other working moms out there with husbands and kids, as like the 2, 3, 4 things that you think they should focus on every day?
I do think that taking time out to do something for yourself every day, even if that means sitting in bed and watching a show by yourself, or taking a bath, which I've been doing a lot of, or taking really long walks.
Right.
Obviously, having that supportive spouse is important, and I do kind of joke about that, but that is really key. I think having someone give you that time where you don't have anything to do, but something that you want to do for yourself
Right.
is very important. Like I said, I think mental health is important for us, and then we reflect upon our employees and our children and our spouse.
Yep.
And so I do feel like tomorrow, for example, my partner and I set up a Zoom call with our employees because we just want to see them face to face. They're kind of helping things running in the background, and we don't even see each other anymore. So we do want to make sure to maintain that face to face. And then, you know, if you feel like very upset or you're going to scream or you're frustrated, try to leave the room and not reflect that upon other people. So I do think that that helps. And then, yeah, I think just being appreciative for what you have and telling people that you're appreciative. So just gratitude, practicing some sort of kind deed or some sort of form of gratitude is important, I think, in maintaining happiness, which I think right now, happiness and health are what we should be focused on, because of course the projects are going to come back and the projects are going to keep going. And we all hope the economy bounces back. So, but for now, this is our new current state of being. So we just have to make the best of it somehow.
Oh, well, great advice. And that is true. This is our current state of reality. We got to adapt to it and live with it and make the best of it. And as you said earlier, gratitude, I mean, to me, love and gratitude are the two most important things I think about every day. Love in every aspect, love to myself, love to my family, my loved ones, my clients, my friends, people I work with. And then gratitude, no matter what happens, we have always so much to be grateful for. The fact that we're alive and healthy, we have our families, that is more important than any financial, material wealth possible. So, and I'm grateful for you, first of all, as a friend, a past client, a wonderful business relationship that has really assisted many of my clients and my client on this amazing project. And I can't wait till this project is done, sometime, you know, end of the year, whenever, and we can do some real videos face to face with each other, showing the beautiful work you've done. But I appreciate you and all you do for my clients, and you're truly a spirit and light and beautiful light in this world of kindness and great thoughts and great work. And you have a wonderful family, and I appreciate you sharing with other moms out there that are probably dealing with the same struggles as you. But I see what you do every day, and I'm truly impressed with how you're able to manage and truly juggle all of these different things. And again, I'm grateful and appreciative to have you in my life on every level. And I'm so grateful you came today to talk and share your current situation experiences with everyone in my world. And I thank you for that, Julia.
Yeah, well, thank you so much to you as well. And I do feel like it's been a learning curve for you working on especially this very big project that we're talking about. And I feel very impressed that you are so excited and eager to learn about this process as well. So I know that it's grown from what you originally might have thought that this is. And so I think that it's nice to hear that you appreciate that, you know, landscape architecture is not just flowers and trees.
It's so involved, you guys. So, look, at some point down the road when all of you want to redo your landscaping, look, if you want to plant some new flowers in your flower bed, that's a different story. But if you want to really create an environment, which is what we're doing. We're creating, this is a very high-end house in Bel Air. We're recreating an incredible environment. When it's done, it's going to be just one of the most beautiful backyards, I think, in the entire area. So I can't wait to share that down the road. It's going to be a while, but we'll get there working with you. And again, thank you for everything. Blessings to you, your husband, your beautiful kids, and your mom and dad. I know all of you and love you all. And thank you for all you're doing for us and all your other clients. And keep the faith, keep positive, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Yes.
And together we'll get all through this together. Stay home, be safe.
We will. I know we have to just stay home and keep following directions and staying healthy. And you know, there are good days and bad days. You caught me on a good day. I'm able to be positive. You know, that's great. It's also the weekend's coming up. I'm trying to still have an actual weekend and to, you know, not do work on the weekends, but
Yeah.
just so that all the days don't blend together.
It's true, because they are blending together. I don't know what
They
days,
are.
you know, anyways. But thank you for
So
everything, and have
thank
a
you.
wonderful afternoon. I know you have to get back to the kids shortly,
Yes.
and back to our project. And thank you,
Thank
Julia.
you.
I love you, and I'll see
Thank
you. I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks.
Christophe. Bye.